crunch-time experience for this young team. What do you think that you all will take away from this one, other than some missed shots and a timely turnover?
I thought we had opportunities, and I thought, obviously we had control of the game towards the end of the third. Didn't close the third as well as we could have. And then I thought our defense in the fourth let us down. I thought they got some easy stuff on a night where our offense wasn't great, or at least our shooting wasn't great. And the way we started the game was a little disappointing. I thought, in a game like that, come out on the road, set a tone. They had 36 points in the first quarter, and we missed an opportunity to do that. So those are the lessons I think we can draw from it.
You all started the second half with Lindy, went small kind of in the first unit, and then went back to J. Will going big. How did you think the speed helped you in the first unit, and then the physicality helped you against a guy like Jackson?
Yeah, just to start the game, really throughout the first quarter, we had a hard time. We seemed like we were behind a lot of plays. And so we tried going small at the end of the first half, kind of liked how that looked. Wanted to start that way in the second half. Jackson gave us more problems up front than their first unit did, so we decided to kind of put J. Will in that unit and then start small, which I thought got us off to a good start. I thought the way we managed most of the third quarter was advantageous. We were down whatever we were at halftime, and we were, like I said, we had built like an 8-point lead, but obviously didn't sustain it well enough.
You scored 61 points in the first half without any made threes. I know obviously you don't want that second half of the equation, but what did you think of the first half of it to be able to put up that many points?
Well, I mean, it just kind of was the tone of the game. I thought we were able to get to the paint. We were able to get to the line. We got good looks from three. Offense wasn't going to be the pathway to winning tonight. I thought our offense we had to take care of business on that end, but to come out here and assure a win and earn a win, it would have had to be defensively, transition, getting better contests on their threes, and we didn't do a great job of that.
What did you like about the small lineup, and why did you stick with it so long?
I just thought in the first half, that was a good sample. The first, call it 16 to 18 minutes of the game, we just felt behind the ball and weren't necessarily. I didn't think offense was going to be a problem based on the first half. I thought defensively switching them would slow them down a little bit more. That proved to be the case at the end of the second quarter and the start of the third. And then we stayed big with J. Will for the end of the third, start of the fourth, and then it was just a matter of keeping speed on the court, and that was what we decided to do.
The 3-point game not there all night, but the 2-point game is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Till the fourth quarter, and then did they start plugging the lanes better? What did Indiana do to nullify some of your easier shots?
Yeah, I thought they were in there, better in the fourth than they were earlier in the game. That's one of the things about having a tough shooting night. It would have loosened them up. Then it's a real dilemma. But obviously we didn't shoot it well. But I thought, on a night where, like the Detroit game's a great example. Detroit shoots 49% from three. We shoot probably 34, 35. I don't remember what we shot. But our defense gave us a chance in that game. We stacked possessions in transition, kept them off the glass in the second half, protected the rim. And that was the stuff that let us down tonight. And then if that stuff lets you down on a night that you don't shoot it well, then it's a coin flip, and that's what it was.
The foul trouble, Jalen and SGA, how'd that affect what you were doing the last 5 minutes?
Not a ton. We got Jalen at the end of the second because of the fouls. We got him in the third because of the fouls. When he had his fifth, the idea was get him a rest anyways because he had started the fourth quarter, so he needed a blow. And then we kind of went on a little run. We were down by 8, I think, and we cut it to 4 or 1 or something like that. And so I just kind of wrote it out even longer, and then got him back in there. But it wasn't a huge deterrent. It's not why we lost the game for sure.
The rebounding, they had got a lot of offensive rebounds.
Yeah.
They didn't really capitalize that much.
Yeah.
You did on your few
Yep.
opportunities. Why were you so successful second chance points? When they weren't.
Yeah, I think, we think when we're smaller, you end up shooting more jump shots when you're small, and it's an opportunity to offensive rebound. It's kind of counterintuitive when you think about it, but we can offensive rebound when we're small, and so there's an advantage there. We also know there's a trade-off. They're going to offensive rebound some. But I didn't think we rebounded great when we were big, especially in the first half, which was one of the factors going into going small. If it's not going to be an advantage for us on the glass, then we'll downsize and reap some of the other benefits.
TJ McConnell seemed to have a huge impact on the game. Why did he give you so much trouble?
Good player. He does a good job. I mean, we go under on him. He's more of a driver and facilitator than shooter. That's the best way to play him. But he's also been seeing that for as long as he's been in the NBA. So he has all the tricks. And I thought he turned the corner a couple too many times on us. When you go under on a guy like that, you got to kind of dart under and meet him on the other side. And I thought his speed to the corner was faster than us on a lot of plays. And that's one of the lessons of the game. That's a fundamental against Ivy the other night, McConnell tonight. You want to use those unders, but if it's a speed guy like those guys, you got to meet him on the other side. We didn't do a good enough job there.
Isaiah, terrific shooting night, but at the end of the game, that scramble play at the end, you actually had him.
Yeah.
Semi-free, if you could have connected on the pass. Was that just free play, or was that actually a drawn-up play?
Not to advance it to him. It's a little bit of a misdirection to get Jalen on the run like we did. We kind of send stuff to one side and then throw it to Jalen on the other side, and then that's why I think he was free. We just didn't connect, but certainly more that went into the game.
We're down to just 4 games.
Mm-hmm.
Your schedule. Good chance of making the play-in, but with each loss,
yeah,
chances go down.
Sure.
How devastating was a loss like this?
I mean, the guys care, and like I say all the time, we're going to look at everything through the lens of development. And, when you care, that's the most relevant experience. You see how we handle the weight of a game on the road. Every single game is different, but the weight of these games certainly weigh on the team in the locker room, and that's a good thing. We'll learn a lot about ourselves and be able to look, very clear-eyed in the mirror when it's all said and done, no matter where we end up. But, yeah, we'd certainly, we're competing and we're trying to get there. But like I said, we're going to learn from all these experiences. I think we'll grow from them regardless of whether we come out on top or like tonight we lose. And we got 4 more, tough games against tough opponents where we get to continue to do that.
More attention, but what did you feel like the difference in the game was tonight in terms of you all kind of not getting to your top-end level and being able to play the way you want?
Yeah. I think offensive rebounds in that first half, killed us. We weren't small, but it's no excuse. We've still got to hit buddies. Isaiah Jackson, they're big guys. Killed us on the glass. Not just the first half, but I think for most of the night, we did a better job in that second half, but still not, to where we wanted to be. We didn't shoot the ball, anywhere close to good. But to keep ourselves in that game with those two things, I think. We gave ourselves every chance to win, but offensive rebounds killed us. We knew they were a fast team. There was times where we didn't get back, didn't get matched. Nembhard, McConnell got into the paint. We were collapsing. They were hitting shooters. So a lot of things we needed to clean up. But saying all that, it was a 4-point game. We gave ourselves every chance to win, but it just wasn't enough tonight.
What did you think of the way it seemed like you all were able to change the game? You went small in that third quarter in the first unit, and then J-Will was able to come in and kind of battle Jackson in that second unit. How do you think that maybe helped flip things from the dynamic of the first half?
Yeah, it just gave us a big body down there. J-Will does a great job of being physical. Although he's not the biggest center in the league, he's strong. He boxes out, he rebounds. So it was obviously good playing small ball. We get out and run. We're playing more freely. But when J-Will comes in, we've got that big body, in the paint to rebound, to help us guards out. So there's good and bad to both sides of it. But we couldn't rely on J-Will coming in saving the day, rebounding wise. It had to be a collective effort, and it just wasn't good enough.
It seemed like there was a lid from 3 in the first half. You get the first one there in the second half. How good did that feel to maybe try to break the seal there a little bit after what happened first?
Yeah, it did feel good, but 4:30, it's going to be tough to win games shooting like that, and that's not anyone's fault. There's nights like that happen. Isaiah Joe, one of the best shooters in the league, goes 0 of 8, and we trust him to take 30 shots. We want him going 0 of 30. That's the confidence we have in the team. In him as a shooter, and the second guys like that, Lindy, our shooters, lose confidence, it's not good for the team. And credit to Jose, he kept shooting it. But just one of those nights where not only he couldn't, none of us could really make threes. So, 4 of 30 is going to be tough to win games. But as I said, it's still a 4-point game with all these things I'm talking about that didn't go our way. We just had to, clean a few things up down the stretch, and could have been a different outcome.
Josh, I think you guys through 3 quarters missed only 12 2-point shots, 34-46. Fourth quarter, those dried up also. What happened in the fourth quarter where the drives to the basket and the more easy shots went away?
Yeah, I mean, they buckled down, I guess, defensively. They started collapsing, I guess, a bit more and forcing us to kick it out and go deep into the shot clock and settle for a lot of tough twos. And then when we had to shoot threes, we did, but obviously not many went in tonight. But I think credit their defense, but some of the stuff we missed in the second half is easy stuff that we made in the first half. So little chippies around the ring. I missed a bunch of them in that fourth quarter. So you'd love to have those ones back, but when things aren't going right offensively, you have to lock in defensively, get stops, and I don't think we did that in the fourth. Nembhard and McConnell were getting wherever they wanted, and took over in that fourth quarter.
We know Indiana loves to play fast. Just how fast did it feel out there, just trying to keep up with their pace throughout the game?
Yeah, they're a quick team. I think they're one of the quickest in the league. We kind of spoke about it pre-game that you don't have to match up to your man. Just get back and find a man, because a lot of the time if we're trying to run to the other side of the court to get your man, they're kicking it to the other side, and it's a tough team to play against. They didn't have a lot of their main dudes out there, but they play quick. They're aggressive. They're physical. So a good team. They're quick, and it's hard to guard teams like that when they've got 4 or 5 guys out there that can handle the ball, make plays. You just have to get cross matched and figure a way to keep them in front. But wasn't where we needed it to be, and we kind of spoke about McConnell. I think every time he drove, we had guys collapsing, myself included, and that wasn't the way we wanted to guard that. But just a few little things game plan wise that we stuck to a little bit better. Maybe some things change.
Anybody else? Postseason, you got 4 games left. Win this game, you're in pretty good shape. Not much room for error after this. How do you feel concerning the standings?
Yeah, obviously we all know it. We all know where we are and what's at stake at this end of the season. But as I said, and as I've said previously, you can't let one game, get you down. You have to. We've got Phoenix on Sunday, who's one of the better teams in the league. We've got to put this in the past and come ready to play. As you said, there's 4 more games, so who knows what happens in those 4. But we'll get ready for Phoenix tomorrow. It's going to be a big game, obviously Sunday. But keep taking it one game at a time, and 4 left. So hopefully we can finish the season strong, and at the end of the year, wherever we are, this team's progressed in the right direction. So whether that's the playoffs, the play-in, or we miss it completely, there's a lot of positives to take out of what we've done this season, and I'm really happy with how the group's progressed and where we're heading as a team.
Thank you, Josh.
Thanks, guys.
Shai, seemed like just some kind of tough plays down the stretch. They hit their free throws. Anything that you noticed about maybe some of the differences that caused the outcome in crunch time?
Not really. I think the game is back and forth for the most part. And then late game comes down to makes and misses and things like that flutter. We just got to do a better job of not letting the game be that close. Play on our terms, play how we want to play, so that late games, that's not a factor.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about the first half. They had, I think, 11 offensive rebounds. That was something that the coaching staff talked about coming out at halftime. Just how do you think you all were able to kind of flip that a little bit in that third quarter to get back to your styles?
Yeah, we knew if we wanted to win the game, we'd have to rebound. And we weren't getting it done in the first half, and it's something that, like you said, Coach emphasized at halftime, and we try to get out and do.
Just want to ask you about the fact that you guys scored 61 points in the first half without making a 3. What was working to be able to get into the paint and as well as you did?
We just played our style. We know we're one of the better paint teams. It's where we live and die. We did a good job of that. We got, especially in the first half, we got a lot of good looks. They didn't go in, but we got a lot of good looks.
Shai, you went small majority of the game. Excuse me. You also outscored them 31-11, I think, in transition points. Is that a result of playing small and getting out and run and get some easy shots?
Absolutely. Especially when we go small with a lot of guards. Especially in the second half, we rebounded better. And we were able to push the break and use their size against them.
I think you were 34 of 46 on 2-point shots through 3 quarters. 4 of 12 in the fourth quarter. What was Indiana doing to plug that hole up? Not let you guys get to the lane.
I think we just missed shots, especially down the stretch. I thought we got a lot of good looks. Guys got to their spots. We just missed shots.
It's your first game. I'm sorry.
What?
This is your first game back after missing a couple games. Didn't look like you missed a beat at all. Did it just feel good to be back out there for you personally?
Yeah, it's always good to play. Felt comfortable, felt good. No injuries didn't flare up. It felt good.
You guys, with this loss jeopardized, you had a pretty good advantage to get the play in. That got slimmed down. How do you guys see the postseason after a game like this?
I think do what got us in the position in the first place. Just focus on getting better. Focus on day to day. The beginning of the season, we weren't thinking about anything besides that, and it got us in this position. So just doing the same thing, and hopefully we end up in the play-in in the playoffs.